My next guest is someone who proudly stands by the Australian flag. He doesn't remove it when he does media. As the federal member for the Queensland seat of Herbert, more than that, he's proudly fought alongside servicemen and women in our nation's uniform and under the very same flag before he was wounded in active service in Afghanistan. To say he finds the behaviour of Greens leader Adam Bandt repugnant, that's putting it mildly. Former Army soldier, proud veteran, and now Shadow Assistant Minister for Defence Phillip Thompson joins me live from Townsville. Phil, today plenty, including Indigenous leaders, have labelled it as childish virtue signalling. Now, someone who's seen the bodies of mates killed in action honoured by having that very same Australian flag draped over their coffins. What did you make of Adam Bandt's behaviour yesterday?
Adam Bandt is a national disgrace. What we saw him do is an attempt to try and divide our nation. We must always recognise and acknowledge the past, but the way that we move forward is, as a nation, is to walk together. And on the defence side, you know, I fought under the Australian flag. I was wounded in Afghanistan under the flag. My mates who have been killed in action, their coffins were draped in the Australian flag. I take it as a personal insult. I take it as a personal swipe at every Australian soldier and every veteran. And Adam needs to come out and apologise for his mistake, grow up, stop being so childish. We need to bring people together in this job as members of parliament, not intentionally divide, because all I'm seeing from this little weasel is this same virtue signalling every time he's in parliament, every time he can get in front of the media, and he just needs to pull his head in.
I saw petitions circulating today online from veterans groups. Do you think that's a pretty common view amongst veterans, you know, precisely as you've just outlined?
Yeah, I do. I do think it's, you know, quite widespread, a similar view. I've been contacted, a lot today via social media, emails and calls. People are upset. People are quite frankly feel very, very disrespected from Adam Bandt, and that's why he needs to show some leadership, show that he actually has a spine and stand up and apologise, because as you can see behind me, I've got all three flags, and so should he when he stands up, because we should be bringing our nation closer together.
Yeah, I know this is quite personal for you. You're married to an Indigenous woman. This is not how you unify Australia, is it?
No, my wife's Aboriginal. My two daughters are Aboriginal. What we need to be doing is acknowledging the past, but walking side by side together for a better future, a better Australia for our children. And doing what Adam Bandt did is something that is disgraceful, and it divides us. And that's the attempt that he's trying to do. We've heard from Indigenous elders call it divisive. We know that this is his way of virtue signalling. This is the way that, you know, he thinks he's doing. To be honest, I don't even think he thinks he's doing the right thing. I think he's actually doing it to cause trouble. That's not surprising from the Greens. But I haven't heard Prime Minister Albanese come out and condemn it. I haven't heard Richard Marles, who's the Minister for Defence, and the DPM come out and condemn it. They should be. We've got to stand up to this poor behaviour. Otherwise, he will continue to do it and continue to try and separate us as a nation.
Yeah, Aboriginal leaders made the point today. They've looked through Bandt's history. They've seen that he's never been really genuine on any of these issues before. This appears to be a stunt. You say he should apologise. I absolutely agree with you. But do you think he'll have enough guts to say sorry?
No, I don't think he does. I've seen him in Parliament. I think he's spineless. I think he's a coward. And this just proves me right on both those fronts. We see him stand up in the Parliament and talk about populist stuff, or we don't see him stand with any conviction. He just wants to argue and throw rocks at the former government. He's not a nice person, but he needs to stand up and go, you know what, I made a mistake and I apologise. Will we see that? I doubt it, but I hope he's watching tonight and he finds where his spine should be and does it tomorrow.
Right, on another matter before we go, Anthony Albanese has been invited to visit Ukraine by the President. Now, we know he's on his way shortly to Europe for NATO meetings. Should he go to Ukraine?
100% he should go to Ukraine. we're one of the largest providers of aid, lethal aid and non-lethal aid. We've seen presidents go there, prime ministers go there. We've seen an actor go there. Ben Stiller's been there. So, meeting with the president of Ukraine, Prime Minister Albanese should have gone already, to be quite frank. He's been on his world tour. He's been flying around the world. He should have stopped into Ukraine and met with the president and offered any more help, anything else we can do, because we should stand with the Ukraine against the Russian invasion. And it baffles me that he hasn't already been there.
Phil Thompson, thank you for your frank comments. A lot of people enjoy seeing you on television because you are so upfront and real. Don't ever let that change. Thank you for your time.